What's up, guys? A lot of you have asked me, what do you do in those situations where either you or the girl can't meet for a while? So I want to make a video on what to do in those situations and my personal strategy when it comes to keeping leads warm. So when it comes to these situations where the girl can't meet for a while, I find that guys often take one of these two extremes. First is, fuck her, she's a time waster, next. And the second is, oh shit, okay, and they become her text buddy and they're constantly messaging her and they're paranoid that she's gonna forget about them. And even though she can't meet for like 2 weeks, they're still, obsessed with her responding and all of that stuff. I find the right strategy somewhere around here. It makes no sense to completely dismiss these girls because especially if they're attractive or you had a good interaction, good connection, then it really can't hurt for you to hit them up when they're back. So typically what I'll do is I'll try to figure out exactly when they can hang out, as you'll see in the examples. Like if they're traveling, I'll say, oh cool, when are you back? And then I'll save her as her name and then the date that she comes back. So then periodically, like once every 2 weeks, when I scroll through my phone and my contacts, I see and I'm like, oh okay, it's right around that date, and I hit her up. So I'm gonna walk you guys through several examples so you can see exactly how I kind of walk that line, how this all plays out. So this was a chick who I met on Bumble, and she told me she was leaving for Paris, right? So I tell her to text me, she texts me, I say, my favorite, and then her ethnicity. She says, glad I made it into the favorite category. I say first place so far. She says, perfect, just where I like to be. And I just like her message. I find this also very effective at getting girls to invest more is when you just like their message. She says, looking forward to that bottle of wine. I say, when do you leave for Paris? And she says, tomorrow morning. So some guys might be really tempted to really push it here, but honestly, if you've never met the chick and she's taking an international flight, the odds of you getting her out that night are extremely low. I say the wine will have to wait until you get back, and she says, yes, I'll be back on 16th. So right now it's January 27th where this is taking place, and she tells me she's gonna be back February 16th. So almost 3 weeks later. I say, she says maybe earlier, and I like her message. Then I wait 2 weeks until February 11th, right? I don't do anything. I'm not like, hey, how's your vacation going? Just whatever. I say, make it back to Miami yet? And she says, almost there. I'll be there on the weekend. I say, perfect, we'll have to celebrate. She says, looking forward. How are we celebrating? So here I do my infamous not wine close by splitting a bottle of wine on my romantic balcony. She says, sounds perfect. And I just like her message. And it works pretty well again. She says, where's your balcony, by the way? I say, give her, my building. She says, really nice. And then I say, do you have Instagram? So one thing I like to do is, again, when the date can't happen for a while, and for example, just because quite often you forget what she looks like, she forgets what you look like, it's good to add them on Instagram. It's also a really good way to keep passive attraction because you're not directly hitting them up, but every time you post a story, more often than not, they're probably watching it, and it's kind of like, basically you're kind of like keeping things warm without actually directly messaging her. And so she says no, and then she texts me the next day, I'm back. I said, welcome back. She says, thanks. What's your schedule like? I work tomorrow and Friday, no plans Sunday. I say, let's do Sunday evening then. And then she says, sorry, just saw your message. Dealing with a cold, Sunday's okay. If I'm over this by then, would hate to give it to you. I say, I appreciate that, sounds good. Thanks, happy V-Day. Then Friday I say, thanks, you as well. And then how are you feeling? She says, better, thanks, doubled up on NyQuil. Still got the cold. And then she texts me the date of the date. Still got the cold, we'll need to rain check. Now some guys at this point might be like, fuck this chick, she's gone for 3 weeks, now she has a cold, who the fuck does she think she is? But she's been very compliant so far, she's shown a lot of investment. It makes no sense for me to just not give her the benefit of the doubt. So I'm just gonna assume that she's being serious, and I later found out she was, she legitimately got sick. And so I say, breaking my heart. She says, maybe I could just give your heart, save your heart and give you a cold instead. I say, tempting, but I think our love can survive a few more days. She says, agreed. Then I say, hey girl, happy Sunday. Says, can't resist that. Happy Sunday to you too. Thanks, feeling better. So this was, I hit her up exactly a week later. So I literally waited a whole week and then I hit her up to see how she was feeling, right? So I'm being very patient here. I'm not pushing it. She says, for the first time in 2 weeks, yes. I say, good, we should celebrate. So basically the same stuff I was saying earlier. She says, yes, next week. I'm in New York City. We'll be back on Wednesday. So tricky. I say, we can do Thursday night. She says, I have a friend from Jersey staying with me from Thursday, Sunday. We might end up going out most likely. Damn. So I say, all right, Wednesday night it is. So here's just logistics. She says, looking forward. I say, yo, sexy. So this is the date of the date. I'm going to confirm. She says, hey, handsome. Hey, still good for tonight? I am. Where and what time? I give her my address, house 9, perfect. Gonna hop in the shower, text me when on the way. So this is my pre-date confirmation text. Running a little late. No worries, thanks, I'm here. You're in the lobby, yes, be there in 2. Okay, coming. Smiley face. That was hot. It was. All right. So again, what happened here? She was going to be gone for a while. I didn't blow up her phone. I wasn't constantly hitting her up. I just basically let it sit. And then, when she was back, I re-engaged. I wasn't super pushy. I wasn't like, you're back, cool, let's hang out. I kind of just segued back into it. But I was also kind of persistent on my purpose. I wasn't clearly, after reading this conversation, you don't get the vibe that I'm like being her text buddy, or that, I'm just down to text her whenever, right? Like, so I'm valuing my time, but at the same time, I'm also being smart about it. Next example, we have a chick who I matched with on Tinder, and things were going pretty good. We had a nice vibe. We were sexting a little bit. And then when I go to meet up, this happens. I say, what are you doing tonight? She says, going to sleep, LOL. I have some personal stuff going on, and I won't be free till like early February. This is taking place at like mid-December. So she's talking about like 1.5 months later. I say, lol, I could be married with kids by then. She says, then we definitely shouldn't see each other tonight, LMAO. I say, oh. She says, if there's a possibility you could be married with kids by then, lol. I say, don't worry, it's a bit unlikely, LMAO, just a bit. So here I'm just gonna push a little bit more for that night. I send her a picture holding a bottle of wine to show off the tattoo. I say, so real talk. She says, wish I could be there. What's stopping you? My child and the fact that I have work tomorrow, LOL. So when she said my child, I knew that it was not going to happen tonight. Very few moms are going to ditch their kids to get some dick. I say, fair enough, lol. I'm still wrapping up a video anyway. Rain check for this weekend. So here I'm just not even taking the whole I'm not going to be available until early February thing seriously, because she hasn't given me enough information yet. She says, hey, sorry, I fell asleep, but yeah, definitely I want to see you. I say, good. I have plans tomorrow, but Sunday evening should work. I can't this weekend. Breaking my heart, her name. And then this is when she really explains her situation, so it took a little bit of a takeaway. She says, I told you, I wouldn't be free for a while. Me and my father and my daughter have a custody agreement, and it's his turn to take her at the end of January, and he lives in Hawaii, so I won't see her for a while, and I'll be spending the remaining time with her at home, so I'm not going to be free till after he takes her. So when she sends me that, I knew that I was just going to have to be patient. Like, it wasn't going to go down, until her kid is with the dad. I say, okay, I understand. She says, I wasn't trying to put you off. I do want to see you, but I have limited time with my daughter. I say, it's cool, we can hang out afterwards. She doesn't respond. So I literally wait 2 weeks. I'm not fucking blowing up her phone. Again, it's a low probability situation because it's so far apart. So I'm just going to still put in the due diligence, but I'm not going to be fucking her text buddy or anything like that. I hit her up with Hola Linda 2 weeks later. She says, hey. I say, how's my favorite MILF doing? She says, she's doing great. I say, good. Just got a husky, so been busy training him. And then I sent her a picture of Rhaegar just sprawled out on the couch. So as you can see, I like to alternate between sexualizing and just normal banter. I don't like to just do one or the other, because the one just can, if you're just purely doing small talk and banter, the girl can get bored. And if you're just doing purely sexualization, she might just not take you seriously and just think all you want to do is fuck. So I say it's a process. She says, I would die for him. Strong words. She says, I'm a strong bitch on all levels except physical and emotional. So it's pretty much most of the levels that I can think of. So I say it's hard to be strong when he stares at you with his blue eyes. She says, are you talking about herself? I say the dog, but it applies to me as well. So this is pretty good banter. She says, you can stare at me with your blue eyes while I'm on my knees. I say, with a fistful of your hair in my hand, pulling my head back. She says, I say, making you swallow every inch, making me gag and cry. I say, oh, that goes without saying. And she says, and then I'll swallow every drop. Like a good girl. That's me, I'm an angel. I'll be the judge of that. What if I'm a bad girl? Then you will be disciplined. How? Tell me. I'd rather show you. I prefer that too. So now I think a common mistake a lot of beginners intermediates would make here is because they got like a nice rapport going, the conversation turning sexual, they might be tempted to just fucking start sending her these long ass sex and just keep sexting and sexting and sexting her. Now the reason that would be bad is because it would kill, the suspense and the sexual tension that's building. You just want to use sexualizing and sexting to kind of amp up the sexual attraction, but you don't want to fucking ruin it by giving away the whole ending. She says, I prefer that too. Good, when are you free next? I don't know, I'm moving out soon. So here I kind of try pushing a little more. I say, I'm gonna need you to show a bit more enthusiasm. Yes, daddy, pick a night. I have to see when I can get a babysitter first, right? Send her one of these. Then I wait a few days and I hit her up with, how's the babysitter hunt going? She says the baby will going off with her dad by the end of the month. Gotcha. So until then, and then I just let it go. I let it sit for a little bit. I just saved her in my phone as, her name, and then, February, early February. And then she hits me up at the very end of January. Hey, I'm free now. I say, the day is finally here. She says, LMAO, the emoji scares me a little. You don't strike me as the type that gets easily scared. You're right. what are you doing tonight? I'm already in bed tonight. Oh, no invite for me. It got lost in the mail maybe. Maybe you should ask me on a date first. So what she's getting at here is that she's like, hey, I'm DTF. I'm a hoe, I'm down to fuck, and I say the word hoe with love, but I'm not gonna be like a late night, afterthought. Like I actually wanna like schedule something. I just don't wanna be like a 2 a.m. booty call before we even meet. So I kind of pick up on that. I can see that, miss her name, will you go on a date with me? No one can force me to do anything. She says, I think under the right circumstances, someone could possibly force you to do something. Either way, I'll go on a date with you. I say, good, I have plans next few days, but how's Thursday or Friday evening? Either day is fine with me. Thursday evening it is. Where are we headed? Let's meet at a red bar and go from there. Sounds like a plan. Hey, can we reschedule for Friday night? Yes, Friday night it is. Awesome. I've been trying to figure out what I'm gonna wear for like an hour before I realize it's not Friday. Well, I like the effort. Dress casual, no promises. Hola linda, day of the date. Hi there, what time are you free tonight? 7. And then she hits me up with, so I just got my period. We can still go out, but we obviously can't do anything, or we can reschedule. I'm okay with either, right? So actually, I'm gonna propose a third option. And I'm gonna say, I'm a man. The red fairy doesn't bother me. So I don't wanna just agree, because that's gonna create additional problems for me down the line. I wanna be like, yeah, sure. We can just hang out. And then when I go to sexualize and escalate, she's gonna be like, well, like, I didn't even shave my legs. Like, what the fuck? Like, you told me we can just hang out, right? Because she took me literally. But I also don't wanna just reschedule on her because to me, that shit is completely irrelevant. So she sends me one of these emojis. She says, I'll go shave my legs then. So you gotta keep in mind, when girls think that there's no chance of sex happening, there's certain things that they might not do, which means later on when sex looks like it's about to happen, they'll have extra, like, let's just say hang-ups. I say, perfect, let's do 8. 8 is good. I'm gonna be a little late. I'm still getting dressed. No worries. Do you smoke? Once in a blue moon, you're not allergic to dogs, right? This is a text I sent, to let girls know that I'm gonna bring Rhaegar on a date with me. Not at all. I'm about to leave. Where we're meeting again. Good. I'm gonna grab my husky, red bar. What do you mean you're gonna grab him with me? If I don't, he's a rescue and gets anxiety when I leave. Oh my God, no, bring him please. Works every time. I see, what is your TA? I'm ordering Uber now, so maybe 20 minutes. Sounds good. Are you inside or outside? Outside. That was hot. My pussy is sore already. So yes, amazing. And in case you're wondering, this chick was Carla from the videos, the one that made several videos with me on how to escalate, on body language and all of that. So again, here patience was the key. I hit her up several times throughout the thing, but I wasn't chasing her. I wasn't her text buddy. I wasn't obsessed with keeping the lead warm. We're constantly sexting her. I was kind of played it cool, and I was just pretty much cool but diligent and thorough. And let's take a look at the last, but what I think is the most interesting example. So I met this chick at the grocery store literally a few days before I was leaving for Europe for the summer. And I think my phone was dead, so I gave her my number and told her to text me. So this is where things pick off. She sends me her name. I say, the cute chick with the booty. Says, haha, yes, Mr. Mysterious Guy with the pretty eyes. I say, guilty as charged. She says, so how long you been in Miami? 5 months now. Oh, I beat you. I've been here for like a year now. I was going to offer to show you around, but you've probably been everywhere by now. LOL. I say, pretty much, lol. How was your wine night? It was good. It was great, lol. I thought you were supposed to join me, though. Yes, I got sidetracked with a few things, but I'm down tonight if you're feeling spontaneous. She says, I can't tonight. I'm still at the gym, have a deadline. Let's shoot for later in the week if you're down. Sounds good. And then I hit her up literally the night before I was leaving for Poland, and I say, what are you doing tonight? And then she texts me back a month and a half later. And some guys might be like, what the fuck? That's super odd. But in reality, it's not that strange when you think about it, because I made a good first impression and I didn't do anything to fuck it up. So I'm still pretty high in her mind. And then, when she's horny, when she's lonely, when whatever, she's gonna hit me up, above pretty much all the guys who've been weird, who've been needy, who just made a bad first impression, right? So she says, hey Alex, what are your plans for the evening? I say, chilling with the family. I'm in New Jersey at the moment. Nice, how are you? Have fun. We'll have to hang out when you get back. I say, for sure. And then I do something that you haven't seen yet. And a few weeks later, I hit her up with random question, but which cropping do you like more? So I needed feedback on my Instagram, my Tinder profile, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna hit up every girl I know. I later discovered this works really well for actually building attraction for girls, at least in certain situations. But basically, what's the effect here? Most guys, they're asking for pictures of the girl. They're like, oh, can you send me a picture of this? Can you show me that? They're asking for something, but you're actually giving something, and you're forcing her to think about you because you're showing her pictures of yourself. So I sent her this, and she says, this is hard. I kind of like the first one because you can see the audience is really focused, but the second one is more like boss. Aha, tough choice. So here I'm just, getting more feedback. She's asking me what this is for. I say Instagram. Then a week later, I hit her up with something else. I say, can I get your opinion on something else? Send her a few pictures of me. Which of these do you like the most? And then I send her my whole Tinder profile, and I say, where do you think it should go? And she says, definitely. Hey, handsome, what is this for? So at this point, she gets pretty curious. And I say, Tinder, so I fully own it. She says, wow, lol, I can't deal with you. I know I'm irresistible. Debatable, lol, but I do kind of wish we had a one night when you first met. Why didn't you? Because I thought there would be a next time. Clearly, you aren't coming back anytime soon. And I say, I am in a month. So this is like 3 months after we met already. She says, oh, okay, good. Well, I guess we will have to reschedule for when you're back. Which one of these, and then I hit her up like a week later, which one of these do you think would make a better Instagram story? So at this point, I'm just relentless about getting feedback. She just asked me to add her on Instagram. I add her, and then I hit her up October 16th. So 3.5 months later, after we first met at a grocery store, and I say, guess where I am? She says, where, lol? I say, Miami. Oh my God, yay. I say, miss me? I mean, I only met you in the wine aisle of Publix, lol. We haven't hung out long enough for me to miss you. Did you miss me? I say, yes, dearly. Well, we'll have to hang out soon. I say, you feeling spontaneous tonight? I actually am feeling spontaneous. I have a semi-cold that I'm getting over. How semi? She says, it was just a little cold, I feel great, but I still have like an ugly cough that comes out every now and then. So the real concern is that she's just worried that I'm gonna, tease her about her cough or just not like that. I say, I don't mind. We'll just have to avoid the passionate make-out sessions. Well, I guess they'll have to wait another day. What do you want to do? Why don't you come over? We can have a bit of wine. So again, straight to the house wine date. I give her my address. Here's just coordinating logistics, and then just coordinate everything. And then coming, made it home, love, sweet dreams. Buenas noches, right? So what did I do here? I wasn't texting her up all the time. I just basically trusted the fact that I made a good first impression, and I would hit her up, periodically. And then, I was also relentless about getting feedback, which forced her to kind of think about me more and more. So when I was back in town, she was much more eager to jump on it. Whereas if I didn't text her at all for those 4 months, she probably would have forgotten who I was. All right, so what are the big takeaways here? So when a chick can't meet for a while, you don't want to just automatically assume that she's a time waster and blow it off, because as you saw in these examples, there are a lot of legitimate situations where for whatever reason, the date is just not going to happen right away. But at the same time, don't go to the other extreme and just, start constantly texting her, become her text buddy. And, you're like fucking sweating a girl who's 10,000 miles away because she didn't text you back that night. Maybe you're double, triple texting her again. This is the wrong approach to take. You should always focus on girls that you actually have a chance of meeting within the next few days first, and these chicks are second priority. So basically the way I like to think about it is I'm going to do my due diligence, but I'm not going to sweat it. As you saw in a lot of these examples, for example, I wouldn't even text a chick for a few weeks, and that's totally okay. It's kind of like when I'm texting, my really good friends. I trust in the fact that if we're not talking every day, it doesn't mean that our friendship is going to end. Same principle here. I trust in the fact that I made a good impression, and if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Secondly is make things easy for yourself just by saving the girl with, the day that she gets back. So you should know an approximate time of if she's out of town, when she gets back, or if you're out of town, approximately when you need to hit her up. So this way, when you scroll through your phone, maybe once a week, you see contacts like, oh, I should hit her up. Oh, I still have another week to wait for her. But it makes tracking things a lot easier. And thirdly is don't be afraid to take chances. A lot of guys are always playing it safe, even if they can't meet the girl for a while. They're really worried they're gonna blow out every lead. You don't want to be in that category. As you saw in the last example, I was sending her a bunch of pictures of myself, which is definitely not conventional good text game, but in reality it works pretty well, because what are most guys doing? They're asking for pictures of her, like, oh baby, please let me see you, let me see you, let me see her, and I'm doing the exact opposite, which is going to definitely make me stand out. All right, hopefully you guys found this video valuable. Show me some love by smashing the like button, hit the subscribe button, clicking the bell for notifications. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and make sure you also follow our Instagram at RealPlayingFire. We post a lot of value there. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time.